to do. And I will be just talking to myself right now. Anyway, but I'm assuming that it can hear me, because my laptop has two microphones and one doesn't work for some reason. Alright, next we have record camera, and this will be of my webcam that I am now covering up, because this is none of your business what my room looks like in the morning. But this is my webcam. And you can start recording, and you can, I'm assuming you can like put the video in there, like in a little box or something. Yeah, moving on. Picture in picture. This is, I have one somewhere. It's down here. This one. Notice how you can't see any of the background anymore. It's because this is just a picture of my wallpaper that, without all my stuff on it, so that way you can't see what's going on behind it. If I move it over a bit, you can see what's going on behind it, which I don't want you to see. And I'm glad I didn't move it over enough to where you can actually see the number. Anyway, this lets you put in a picture. I don't know, this isn't really useful, I guess. I mean, I have it just sitting down here on my timeline. So, next I have Captions, and here's a studio tip, because I actually have not used this yet. And this looks really complicated, and I probably will not put captions on this video for that point. But you can look at this. I'll keep this up for a minute so you guys can look at this. Lots of information here. Okay, that's enough. You can pause it if you wanted to look at it more. So, yeah. If you wanted to type out everything that you say, then this is where you would do that. And synchronize it. It obviously looks better than... I guess you can select your words and synchronize it where you want them to show up in the video. So that's nifty. That would be better than just adding text boxes everywhere. I hate adding text boxes. And lastly, we have quizzing. I'm assuming this is only for Flash. If you export this as a Flash, I think you can export it as Flash. Anyway, you can add a quiz or a survey. And I won't show it to you guys now. I tried it once, and I mean, it's just like a simple quiz. You press a button and it tells you, oh, that's right, or you're wrong, or you just have a survey and it collects the data or whatnot. I don't know exactly what it would do with the data, if it could give it to the website. I don't know. Alright, so that's it for these. Let's go on to the timeline down here, and I'll show you what's going on down here. So it's basically, you have everything that's going on, and you just throw it all in here, and it all works together. And you have these tips that are annoying. So these blue diamonds are your zooms. If you notice, they're on the zoom track. So you'd look at one, and this is where it zooms in. So if I back up a little bit in the video, you can watch it zoom in. Next, type into Google Team Viewer. Notice how that zoomed in nice and smoothly. Let me just click on the zoom in button right here that zooms into the timeline, and you can see like this little shadow. You can see it better on the callouts. This is the fade in shadow that I recently decided that's what it is for. Notice there isn't as much as a fade in shadow on this one because it starts fading in sooner, or not as soon. This one has a long fade in. This is the text that says Team Viewer, I think. And the zoom ins also have a fade in, but that's for like the actual zooming in part. So if you wanted to slowly zoom in, you could extend that by going up here and changing the duration. Notice if I double click on this and change the duration, it gets bigger. Go figure. That's really long. So that'll slowly zoom in, which is probably not very useful. So, default is 1 second, I think. Okay. So those are your zooms. Those are really easy to throw in. anywhere. You just stick your timeline somewhere where you think you need it to zoom in by dragging the playhead or playing and pausing, and then you don't even have to hit the add keyframe. You can just go ahead and drag the zoom box to wherever, and it'll automatically add the little blue triangle thing with the shadow. Okay, so that's that. You have the text callouts that you can double click and edit, and you can change the shape. I'm using a specific callout that is clear that I'll show you guys, and that's about it for that. You can of course drag the edges to make them longer or shorter. You can split the video in two, which is what I did earlier by hitting the split button. Yeah. So it'll split it in two. It won't interrupt anything. It'll still run as smooth as ever. But then from that you can do whatever you need to do if you wanted to split it, like delete some of the video, I guess. Yeah. Okay. So let's go to the callouts again, and we'll go to a place where there isn't anything happening too much. Right here. Looks like there's nothing much happening. This is where I'm talking. So let me mute my computer so you can't hear this, so I can still talk. And I'll show you some of these. The sketch motions are actually animated, which is pretty cool. If you throw that in there, it'll animate. So you back up, and we'll play. One I just downloaded. See that? Sweet. You can do, it's a box. Box is it just draws a box. So if you're talking about something and you want to highlight it, you can make it look like you're drawing on the screen, which you actually can do anyway. But if you don't want to draw on the screen yourself, you can get it to draw on the screen for you. Go ahead. And it's pretty neat. Might not be able to see it because the frame rate of this video plus the frame rate of the video I'm recording right now combined is horrible. Anyway, you have different shapes you can do. Arrows, cool. I used arrow in my last one. Next you have the blur callout, which is a special callout. Let me just delete this. You can click on it and then hit the delete button, get rid of it. So the blur callout simply blurs your screen. Useful if you want to hide a personal piece of information like your email, or in this case I used it to block out the access code to my computer using TeamViewer, which also is a good program. You should go look at my video if you want to know more about that. You have fade in, fade out, simple stuff right here. You also have effects on most of these. You can change the effects like the style, shadow, flip it around, and keep the aspect ratio. And you can size the callout to text. If you have text in your callout, you can size it to it so it isn't super big and hard to handle. So you have the blur amounts, or you can go to more and you can manually move the slider. So next we have spotlight, which is the opposite of highlighting. It darkens everything except for what you want. Simple. Again, you got the darkness amount. You could